the stars knew their names, before void held form, he arose primordial light against eternal storm. The emperor, the architect, the savior of man, his purpose eternal, his will the plan. From Terra's cradle to the galaxy span, forged destiny with immortal hands. 10,000 battles, a million cries. He rose above where all hope would die. His words command, his gaze a decree. Through faith and fire, he set us free. No Xenos, no traitor, no false god, no lie shall dim his light. He will never die. Behold the eternal flame, unyielding divine. The light of the emperor, forever it shines. Through trial, through war, through infinite strife, his light guides humanity, the heart of our life. Beneath the stars, his legions tread. With bolter and blade, his angels bled. The war may rage, and heretics jeer, yet his light shall banish all doubt and fear. The primal rose, his vision made flesh. In unity, strength through darkness and mesh. But treachery struck, and chaos did cry. Still his flame burns, and it scorched the sky. Behold the eternal flame, unyielding divine. The light of the emperor, forever it shines. Through trial, through war, through infinite strife, his light guides humanity, the heart of all life. Upon the golden throne, his body resides, but his spirit eternal through us abides. The astronomical cause, his light guides the way for all of mankind to survive the fray. The price is paid, his sacrifice vast, to ensure the Imperium's future shall last. No power can silence, no darkness erase the burning truth of his radiant grace. O children of terror, stand and proclaim, your lives are his glory align. In battle we conquer, in unity we thrive. Through his immortal will, humanity survives. No weakness shall falter, no spirit shall fail, for his vision prevails beyond all veil. So rise, Imperium, with one voice resound, the Emperor's glory, eternal, profound. By his sacrifice, the galaxy is claimed, forever shall burn the flame of his
Alright, greens, varlets, armentor, Gyarados, attached say to Blade Inquisitor Marco of the Order Hereticus, and welcome to Looking Cute and Painting Minis. I'm coming at you live from the grim dark future, currently broadcasting from the hive world of Virago. The theme for the theme stream is, for the stream, is Chords, Lament, I Hope by the Venerable Liturgist Adam Bell. We also have music from Warhammer 40k Mechanicus, composed by Guillaume David, and the copyrighted Bulwark Studios, and music from Wild 40k Dark Tide, which is composed by Desperate Kid, and the copyright of Fat Shark Games. All the music is brought to us by ende.app and pixabay.com. And today we're continuing to paint the Tribal Elf Queen, which is brought to us by Quest Wagon. You can find this and many more awesome miniatures over on the link below. Should I say the link at the pinned comment? Sorry. I don't know why it's not really focusing today. Yeah, let's see. Just updated the app and now it's funky with its Here we go. Let me see. And what is it? Well, yeah. Thank you for everybody. Can you talk today? That's what happens when you miss a week. So far we have Necronomicon on the chat. What up, Necronomicon? ¿Cómo estás? And we have God Emperor Man saying greens. Hey, God Emperor Man, how you doing? And we have 7A Rose saying, hey Rosario, how you doing, 7A Rose? How you been? And Lord Inquisitor Callahan saying, Salve Interrogator, Comodo Venatio, tua Hereticorum Fruit. Greens, Interrogator, how have your hunt for the heretics been? Actually, that went really well. We were on that's why I wasn't here last week. We were hunting down these vile heretics. Particularly one very vile psyker who was running amok amongst the slums of Virago. I don't know why this isn't. Let me see if I can make this work a little bit better. Hold up. That seemed to have done the trick. I just switched. Boom. Oh yeah, nice little showing there. Looks like the fit that in there. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we were hunting down this one particularly vile psyker, and our Tapissa Scion sniper rifle, sniper trooper, used his rifle to take out that vile psyker, so it came out really well. So, yeah, we no longer have to deal with that. Ratgion says, that's definitely a guy holding a bolt carbine on a griffin, yeah? Yes, it is, or almost like that. It's my latest kit bash, which I've been wanting to do for forever. And I finally got the pieces I needed, and it's for my White Scar rider. I've never liked the idea that the White Scars are just on bikes. I've always liked the idea that because they're supposed to be based off of the Mongolian armies, particularly during that time frame of like Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan, I always figured that they should be riding on steeds. So when I saw the Vanguard Paladors of the Stormcast Eternals, I was like, I would love to turn that into a White Scar. So what I did is I got that kit bash finally together. I got the pieces from Games Workshop last week, and I finally put it together. So what I did is I got the Vanguard Palindor, switched the head for an Atlan head of the Rough Fighters. I replaced the shoulder pauldron here. I wanted to replace it on both, but because of the arm placement, I couldn't do it on both. So it still looks good, even with the Stormcast tool like pauldron there. And then I gave him the sniper rifle, like you said, the bolt carbine. Because I figured, okay, they were marksmen with bows on steed, so I was like, you obviously gotta give him a sniper rifle. And yeah, I even added a backpack there. And that one is from Great Tide Studios, and their Wolfhounds line. So yeah, there we go. That's my kit bash. Seminary Rose says, it's looking so good. Thank you. And it says, doing good. How are you? Your hunt sounds exciting. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I was a little distracted there retelling the story, so it didn't sound as epic as it really was. At least to me, it didn't sound as epic, because I'm like stumbling over my words. But yes, we were hunting Vile Heretics last week, and that's why we weren't here. But here we are this week. We're finally back on the painting march, so to say, back with the tribal elf queen. So yeah, we've come along a long way. And Ragion says, you sound exhausted. Yeah, that hunt was pretty exhausting. You ever have dealt with a psyker? Yeah, they're not... Sorry, it cut her. They're not fun. Okay, but yeah, let's get back on it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna keep working on the base. We're gonna finish off some of the ground there, and then we're gonna go ahead and start working on the head. Hey, Ragyal says, I love killing Thousand Suns. It's like party poppers. Well, not all Thousand Suns are psychers. But he's not what do you call them? The rubric Marines? Yeah, because they're mostly just going around shooting and attacking because they had no souls. And we have Leon X. How you doing, Leon? How you been? How's everybody's weeks been? Because I haven't seen you all in 2 weeks. Everybody doing good? What you been up to? Working on any new projects? I'm gonna go ahead and... Let's see, we're gonna grab our size... Oh no, that's too big. Wait, actually, you have to do some dry brushing. So never mind, I'm gonna grab our dry brush. Where is our dry brush? Oh, there it is. Region says, yeah, the sorcerers are regular. Yeah, I know that there are plenty of sorcerers on there, but they're regular ones. It's like the Rubic Marines are the regular ones, and the sorcerers are kind of like their elite squads, or their leader units, usually. Leonex says, I'm doing well. Hope you've been well. Yes, been doing very well. I said last week we were out of town because we were fighting heretics. So I'm gonna use my base XV88 for some dry brushing on the ground here. I get some variety of pigmentation from the rock to the ground. Regan says, also, I used that Valhallan Snow tech on the bases, and the Termes came out amazing. Oh, nice! Not a paint 20 regular chaperons. That's usually how it goes. Let me get a lot of these paints out of the way. I have way too much stuff in the way. So please bear with me. Reagan says, well, I mean, the sorcerers are the people who still have bodies, as far as I know, and if you're not a sorcerer, you're generally an empty boy. Yeah, pretty much, exactly. Ba-bum. Or Callahan says, whoa, the administration has dropped a lot of paperwork and also been on personal mission to cleanse Terra's lower hive of heretics. Yes, even here on Terra there are a few heretic cults. I would figure that Terra was a paradise of loyal Imperial citizens. It sounds like you need help out there, my Lord Inquisitor. Let me know if you need us over there. But yeah, this is actually a Rosario Rivas first, where I'm actually trying to finish the base before I finish the model. And Ragion says, I did that the other day on the second to last Hermie. Why'd you do that? I mean, I know why I'm doing it. It's because I want to work on the head separately from the body and attach the body to the completed model. But why did you do it? Why did you do it? Why did you do that thing to me? The only one who knows the truth, man, that's him, me, and you. Inquisitor Callahan says, I had Lucifer Beck join me on the Purge as well as a few Sisters of Silence because there were some rogue psychers trying to pull a Magnus. As in, do something wrong? Or do nothing wrong. Battle that out. Did Magnus do anything wrong? Ragion says, because I worked on all their heads separate, so I didn't think anything of it, but then I looked and saw he had more adornments that I didn't see. Ah, okay. Y Necrodramicon dijo, cantas bien. Necrodramicon says, yeah, you sing well. Oh, thank you. Gracias, me alegra que te guste. ¿Cómo te va todo, Necrodramicon? ¿Todo bien? But I always remember that song from the movie Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Anybody ever see the Guy Ritchie movies? Regio says, unfortunately, hold on. Before he said that, he said, then on the captain, his beard got in the way of his axe, and for some reason his wolf pelt frick, so I had to force it in. Oh, that sucks. And Regan says, unfortunately, I'm not much of a movie. I am quite the movie buff. If I hadn't gone into Warhammer painting as a reason for streaming, then I definitely would have been a movie critic. But there's so many of them out there that I was like, it seems like a waste of time. Too much of a market for it, I think. Rayalan says, but in the end, they were completed and I got to use my new spinning disc. Vicky was fun watching them spin. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I know. I got one of those given to me by Lady Marco, and yeah, that came out. It's buffed up my I guess my wheels. Yeah, before I was spin, myself, I was like, yeah. Alright, let's see. How is this looking? like I want to get a little further in, but I'm having a hard time reaching it with the brush. See if I can find a different brush that I can maybe splotch some tiny bit of XV88 on there. I'm gonna use my base brush, which is a little beat up by Citadel's miniatures. See, I can get some in there. That's the problem with dry brushing. It's a great technique, but then trying to get into some nooks and crannies, and you need to get and avoid some other parts, a little harder. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Now what we'll do is we'll put in a wash, and I think we should be done with the base. Right now, just cleaning the brushes a bit. But yeah, Ragion, how'd you end up painting those space wolves? Did you paint them like regular space wolf colors, or you want them with a different color? Also, I'm presenting this model here, just so you guys know this is what I'll be painting next. So I'll be painting my White Scar on a Palador Kit Bash next. Once we're done with the Tribal Elf Queen by Quest Wagon. Oh yeah, it says they were mine, so they were painted typical. The only difference is I made them Death Wolves, so eventually there will be more Thunderwolf cavalry. Also use the airbrush. Okay. Who are you painting them for then? You said they're not for you, so who are you painting for? Like a friend or a sibling? Okay, that should be that for that brush. Let's make sure that we've cleaned off the base brush. Again says, undercoat the fang and overcoat rust gray. Ah, okay. Yeah. That's definitely the standard. And Regis is my brother. All our armies are essentially both of ours, but obviously we have factions we favor. Obviously, I'm more inclined to chaos and him to loyalist. So we are going to add that Seraphim Sepia. Here we go. Seraphim Sepia. we're gonna use a bigger brush for that. Probably go with my size 2. Size 2 grabby. I figured if your brother's rocking Space Wolves, you'd be rocking Thousand Suns just to really get at him. Rayon says, funny. I thought so. And Rayon says, I was just about to type. You were about to type that. You were about to paint 1,000 points at 1,000 suns. Oh, there we go. Really stick it to your brother. And then Region said, there's a part of me that wants to finish the World Leaders in Guard. I mean, obviously, they seem to be your favorite. And we have Viza say, hey, long time no view. Crazy busy, few weeks away. Yeah, how you doing, Viza? What you been up to? Hope all is well. Oh, it's that. Raya says, but I do have a color scheme for my Thousand Suns. Lots of black, gold, silver, and blue. And he says, sorry, not blue, red. Yeah, I like the red color better than the blue color for them. So their pre-heresy color is probably the better one. They will do another coat. Maybe with something a little lighter, so we can get some variation in tone for the base. And we'll stick with the smaller base brush. Rayon says my own covenant of sorcerer. Not sure what you mean by that. Please explain. It's like, we're gonna use Baylor Brown. Visa says, lots of life stuff, a bit of general exhaustion, and a few new games. Anime Warframe is pretty cool, aka Duet Night Abyss. I think I've heard of that one. But hopefully all good stuff. You said general exhaustion. Hopefully that's like exhaustion from having so much fun. And Ragiel says, my own warband for Thousand Suns is a better way to put it. Gotcha, okay. Where is that? brush. Here we go. Like I said, we're gonna use the base brush. We're gonna try to do a little bit of splotches of this Baylor brown. Gotta be careful with this weapon here. I can already tell it's been coming loose. Yep. Yeah, see here? Hopefully one day they'll make plastic 3D printers. Resin's great, but it's still a little brittle. Let's see. Redion says, yeah, I'm trying to keep Ash a master of executions to be more aggressive in posing and probably have 2 chain axes. Yeah, that's a pretty cool model overall. I've seen it. Yeah, a 2 chain axes, that'd be pretty sweet. You gotta let me know how that turns out. Regia says, I was thinking of custom colors, but I like World Eaters as is. Yeah, I know, it's like sometimes when you have a good color scheme and peak, you don't want to mess with it. That's why I think a lot of people stick with like a lot of the main legions for Space Marines, because they have such iconic looks to them that I can see why. You know, it's just rare whenever somebody has a custom homebrew chapter. I think it's rare. J Ray says, hello everyone. How you doing, J Ray? How you been? Mega says, yeah, that sucks. My cats did my model in by sitting on it. The resin model. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, like I said, they're kind of brittle. But I think we are done with the base. Okay. Might want to move some of these other models that I have on here, because it's kind of just blocking my way. I just realized that my model's kind of stuck. Oh, there we go. So before we are done with the base body and start working on the head, is I want to do a little work on the hands still. I feel like I got those highlights a little too strongly, and I kind of want to add a little bit of in-between painting so that it doesn't come off as harsh. So I'm gonna take some Kislev flesh. And try to water it down a bit, just so that we can get some nice transition. What we're gonna use for that are Zero Da Vinci. Alright, I think that added a better transition into the colors. Rangyan says, also, what was that song in the beginning? I forgot and I wanted to see it. You mean like when we were waiting to start? That was by Endless Tavern. Let me just double check the name of the song. Embrace the Light. Embrace the Light by Endless Tavern. I like putting Endless Tavern's music at the start of our streams. Kind of like a little buffer. Though one day I would like to have my own, like, starting music. You know, with accompanying a video and everything. It'd be fun to have. We have Tequila Shot Ryan, aka Quest Wagon, on the stream saying, hello, how you doing, Tequila Shot? How you been? What you been up to? Working on any new models? Again, everybody, if you don't know, Tequila Shot Ryan is the creator of this model. They put on the head. And you can find this model and many more like it over at patreon.com/Quest Wagon. And Regia says, for corruption purposes, of course. Of course. I would never worship the Corpse Emperor. And then the God Emperor of Man says, you know I'm right here. Yeah, he's right here. So you'll have to have words with the Emperor himself. Okay. That transition layer, I think, turned out pretty well. Now the highlights don't look as harsh. Yeah, it looks nice. Okay, let's work on the head. Out for the head. Out for the head. Okay. So first things first. The eyes, Chico. Eyes never lie. But yeah, says, it be like that. No offense, Big E, but I know a guy who has a good skin lotion. Or if you have any left, that is. Alright, so we're gonna try to work eyes, which are not gonna actually do much on the eye. We're just gonna add some, like, highlights. Because, again, my idea of what the Eldar look like is that they don't have regular eyes like we do. They have black eyes, almost alien eyes, like you know, the little green men type eyes. Because every artwork that I've seen of the Eldar, as far as official artwork, they have black eyes. So I want to keep that going, and I want to give her those black eyes. So no regular eyes, black eyes. Can't remember how it goes in Jaws. Take those black eyes, dead eyes. How he says it. Greg Yao says, wait, that sounded familiar. What sounded familiar? Okay, we're gonna use some find some of my grades. We have gray Sierra here, which we might use. Oh, the eyes, Chico. That's from Scarface. The eyes, Chico, they never lie. Great movie. Love Scarface. Okay, we have Ash and Gray here. Maybe we might pull off the Celestial Gray. We'll see. Okay. I know where my Korvac's black went. Oh, there it is. Corvus Black. So we'll start with Corvus Black, you know, just to get something other than just straight black on there. And we're gonna switch to our size quintuple zero Marie. So yeah, this is my little trick. I like to start with the eyes first whenever working on a face. That way I can make as many mistakes as possible. And then just paint over it with the skin color. Region says, funny, I actually do skin then eyes just so I can get a shape to them, because EW sucks at most face sculpts. Yes, it does, but I feel like their face sculpts have been getting better over time, and you can definitely see where the eyes are. Let's see if I can pull these eyes off. Okay, so we got that face on there. Let's try some Ashen Gray now. Doesn't feel like I'm really doing much, which I probably am not, but still figure it is worth the effort. Now we're gonna add just a drop of the grace here. See if it can look like the eyes are kind of like have that shine to them, so they're not just dead black eyes. A bit of that gift of life in them. I don't think we're gonna be able to tell much from that. Maybe we should start putting some skin on there. Yeah, we have Finijo saying, Rosa, how you doing, Finijo? Long time no see. What you been up to? Video says, I made it, baby. What you make? Cadian flesh tone, Kislev flesh, and then screaming skull. Yeah, Video just subscribed. Thank you very much, Video. How you been? No, the stream has not frozen. I'm just trying to remember what colors I use for the skin. I'm pretty sure I use Mornfang Brown as the base, but I can't quite remember. So I'm like just trying to do it. Look at my old footage. But, Fio says, life got me against the ropes in a boxing match. Then when I went down, they changed the rules and it became UFC, where life continues to beat on me on the floor. And it says, Ragiel says, I forgot what it looks like. And then, Video says, stream froze. Oh, never mind. I guess I must have based with Bugman Glow, but I feel like I based with a different color. Yeah, sorry, just going through. Oh, yes, and I remember. Yeah, okay, so what I did was I started with Bugman's Glow, but then I added the wash, so that's what the difference is. That's why it looks a little darker. Sorry for the delay there, I was just trying to remember. Regia says, depending on the tech, depending on the tech, either I use Bugman's or in wash, or use dark brown. So that's less something to do. Bugman's and then a wash. Let me grab my Bugman's. Regia says, I use it for leather. What's it called? God, not dryad bark. I use Rhinox hide, usually a start for leather. Video says, my pug Sam, he's slowly reaching his end. Finding a full contract is hard, and my current job has me working 9 days in a row with how organized they are. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So you said I made it, baby. I mean, I guess you mean like you made it to the stream. Okay, well, I'm glad you're here. Sorry that things are going badly for you. It's been a rough one. I mean, you've definitely been keeping me abreast of everything, and it really sucks. I really hope that things start working out better for you. Let me go ahead and get this old stream out of the way. Theo says, yes, I made it to stream, definitely not in life. Reggie says, oh, I hate to hear that. Pray that it gets better. But you know what they say, when life gives you lemons, you clone those lemons, and then you make super lemons. So we're gonna stay entirely in the range of the quintuple zero Marie when we're working with the skin. Uh, Video says, so have you seen the high scum trailer for Dark Tide? Also thanks, Radyan. You mean where we have Rocker Granny beating people up with a pipe and shooting with a dual Uzis?
Gratias tibi ad Domine Deus meus, pro omnibus quaeni et nobis omnibus prebes.
Raya says you take your chain axe and ride it against it and keep going and going until it's nothing but a pile of corpse starch, then offer its skulls to the blood god. Sorry, slow typer. That video just says, yeah. Oh, speaking of Vermintide 2, free right now. Yes, it is. Fortunately, I already have it. So, if anybody else doesn't have the game, definitely get it. It is, in my opinion, it's better than Dark Tide. I like Dark Tide, don't get me wrong, but Vermintide is a lot better. Like the paint isn't staying on to this brush today.
Accende lumen sensibus, infunda amorem cordibus, infirma nostri corpore.
Yeah, Video says, last time I checked, the video sat at 90k likes to 60k dislikes. Wow, I didn't realize that. I just thought it looked kind of eh. You know, I wasn't expecting a huge dislike ratio. I like the idea of wielding Uzi, so that's fun. I don't know why this brush is giving me a hard time right now. Come on.
Deo Patris si gloria, et Filio
I should have picked up a bigger brush.
in seculorum.
Ragyao says on Steam. Yes, Vermintide 2 is now free on Steam, so definitely get it if you have the chance. Yeah, I feel like I might need a bigger brush. This is not turning out like I hoped. But what do you think of it? I mean, I know I just spoke that I thought it was okay. It's cool that we're dual wielding. Not a fan of the design of the Hive Scum. Plus, I figured you were already kind of Hive Scum. So I'm like, okay, yeah, more Hive Scum. Whether we have a mechanic is playable, that's what I want to know. But you say we're just extremely disappointed that Fetcha went from the MF Arbites to veteran Zealots just squared. Exactly. People were hoping for Mechanicus or even Radlings. Yep. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's just something that could have been like a skin. Then again, I felt that way about the Arbites when they first came out, so... But everybody loves the Arbites, so... I mean, what do I know? Via says, feels like a poor attempt at some crossword material with Necromunda done far too late. I mean, to me it doesn't seem like that, but it does seem like they're trying to give us a Necromunda feel. But obviously the Necromunda game has been dead for a while now. Video says, do you like the Judge Dreads? It's not that I didn't like them, it's just that I feel like they didn't bring anything new. Originally, I haven't played them, so I don't know, because I haven't bought the DLC. But I didn't feel like they brought anything new to the gameplay. But from what I understand, they actually brought a lot, so... And like I said, what do I know? Because to me, it just seemed like new weapons for the veteran at first. Dia says, oh, speaking of which, I met Carl Urban at MCM in London last October. Oh, nice. That's very cool. You get his autograph? Get a picture with him? For those of you who don't know, Urban is an actor. He played Judge Dredd in the Judge Dredd 3D movie. Theo says, nah. If you like it, didn't want to bother him about that. Video says, I permanently went because my friend also went there and he's a huge Judge Dredd fan. Stood in line 2 hours before the opening so he could be first in line to meet him. Nice, that's pretty cool. I mean, I admire the dedication. All right, face looking good. Fidiolan says, I did decide to meet him myself on Sunday just to ask how I felt to be on the most mainstream actor today out of everyone from the cast that acted in Lord of the Rings trilogy. But as always with such things, Carl gave me a very cooperative answer. I mean corporate answer that where he says how grateful he is and so forth. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. They don't want to rock the boat. Ooh, Leon X has redeemed the Mechanicals protocol, so I guess we're switching. All right. Praise the Omnissiah. Leon X says, oh, neat. Yes, yes, you can actually switch my costumes with 500 bits between my original one, which is what I call the Interrogator, this one, which is what I call the Mechanicus Protocols, and then we have the vampiric form, which is my Halloween outfit, and then we have my Xeno life form, which there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. He says no mechanical eye. Both eyes are mechanical. Yes, these are mechanical eyes, hence all the blue tint. Oh man, I got some skin color in that eye. Exactly what I was trying to avoid doing. I did it. Oh, well, that's an easy fix. Yeah, my eyes are the latest model of mechanized eyes, so yeah. That's why they almost look like regular eyes. Alright, there we go, eyes fixed. And we have Fuan, 123, say, hey, hello, folks. How you doing, Fuan? How you been? Sorry I wasn't here last week. I was busy destroying heretics. How you been? What you been up to? Right now we're working on the head. We have the body pretty much fully completed, and now we're just working on the head. So if I'm not mistaken, Cadian flesh and Kislev flesh. Fuan says, spotting my first army for next year. 100 poxwalkers. I mean, I see no issue with that. Just all poxwalkers? Not even some cultists to like give them some firepower? Make him a little bit more shooty. Alright, we're gonna switch to our size Hero Da Vinci. Well, it says just for good measure, one nurgling to lead them. Can a nurgling even lead a army? Do they count as a leader unit? Raguel says, I'm back, what I miss. You just mixed Fuan's idea of 100 poxwalkers with one nurgling leading them. And like I said earlier, we're switching now to Cadian Flesh Tone. So we can start painting the face. Raguel says, I don't think that's legal. Yeah, I don't think that's legal either. Raguel says, but sounds fun as heck. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to crack this one nut, and I think I finally cracked it. And it's I've been wanting to play the gloom spike gits from Age of Sigmar. And I've been wanting to figure out how to play them in 40k. And I think I finally figured it out, and I'm pretty happy with what I've come up with. I've bought a few blue spike gits in order to get that cracking. Raygyan says, funny enough, my hobby shop still has that big box for bloom gits. Ooh, nice. My with the regular box for the gloom spike gits is that it still has those older, pretty much goblin models, which I don't like. I don't like those older ones. I like their newer ones because they go all out with the new ones. Raygyan says lots of Underworld and Warcry and all that jazz. That's a game I always wanted to play. We get the chance to. I mean, other than at the store when they showed me how to play it. Warcry. I like the idea of Warcry. I was making a whole band of Cadron Overlords for Warcry. Fuad says, I like the idea of war crime. I said war cry. Fuad says, Vida says, I don't know, laying out minefields in games can be pretty fun. And Gotta Man says, it ain't a war crime if no one is left to witness it. I mean, you're not wrong. Fuad says, my ears is not working. Must have been all that retributor armor I've been eating lately. Why are you eating retributor armor? Okay, there we go. Okay, Ragan says, true, we actually agree. That's why I love the compliances. Alright, let's go ahead and add the Kislev flesh. Region says, just to clarify, Angron ordered his legion to do compliance in like 32 hours or something, which led to much bloodshed. I left my Primarch. Ragiel says, by the way, where am I setting this 1k points of painted white scars to so you can play the game? I mean, hit me up on Instagram and yeah, I can give you the address to send me stuff. It's no secret that I've had some people send me stuff. I mean, the person who made this model, aka Quest Wagon, aka Tequila Shot Ryan, he sent me this, so if you want to send me stuff, yeah, I'll give you the address. And Ragia says, wait, if I send that, you would play the game? Say no more. I mean, sure, I'll take it to my local game shop and they try to play a little bit. Ragia says, I'll buy the models tomorrow. And Fua says, no way, war game is sugar daddy. Hey, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Ragia says, because then he'll feel obligated to paint 1k more to make it 2k. I know, that's asking a lot. And then Ragia says, then he'll realize he's too deep in the hole to quit. So it'll be another army. We can see your plan unraveling there, Ragia. We're gonna go back to the eyes. I don't like how just dead they look. Because they're supposed to be black, I want them to have some kind of shine to them, but it's like, trying to get the right color in there is going to be a little difficult. We're going to try to do the gray seer again, see if we can actually pull this off. And back to the quintuple zero Marie. Rael says, then you'll sell his kidney to finish all the models in the world. Truly diabolical. Rhea says, why not use Black Templar contrast? Because I don't have Black Templar contrast. But I do have Basilicanum Gray, so I might go with that. So I like the idea, so if all else fails, I try to do that. Ooh. Yeah, I can zoom in. It's not quite picking up what I'm putting down. Here we go. Ragil says, sometimes it shocks me. Hold on. Before that, he says, I study under an Alpha Legionnaire once. Sometimes it shocks me when you say you don't have colors, then I have to realize not everyone is like me and just buys colors. Yeah. And then God Emperor Man says, what's his name Alfarius? Good question. Ragil says, I don't know, he once talked to me too much, so I put an axe to his face. Well, I personally would mix all the paint myself. That would be a lot cheaper. Yeah, it probably would be if I were a little bit more competent in painting, mixing. I think the eyes are looking better, but I don't think the camera's quite picking it up. He says, but Rosa, your blue eyes seem too abominable to be Mechanicus or Imperium design. Well, if you look at them closely, they have this sort of like targeting system in the irises. So it's almost like a targeting for these. So I wanted to make sure that it looked a little bit more robotic when I made the design. Yeah, I think the eyes are looking a little bit better, but unfortunately the camera is not quite big enough. Fuan says, rude question, but did you perhaps have a femboy in mind when designing the model? Yes, I did. That's why it's called looking cute and painting minis. I wanted to look cute. Okay, so I think we're done with the eyes. And the face. I think we're pretty much done there. Hopefully the camera, once I take a picture of it, it'll pick up what I'm putting down. But I think the eyes are looking pretty good. Raga says, unfortunately, he'll never make a good jackal. Such a pity. I don't know, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce, how you spell jackal. But, yeah. But what do you mean by that? Okay. So with that, I think we should get started on the hair. Yeah, I think the hair is probably the next spot we should start. Again says, I had this whole skip planned out, but over typing it won't give the desired results. Ain't no worries. I'll work on the skit a little bit more and then hit us back up with it. Alright, so where is my... There it is. Cantor Blue. Yes. Rega says, but it involved a lot of rugged men and muscle and oil. Yeah, that's already sounding very homoerotic. So yeah, we're going with Cantor Blue. Now the idea is to use this Cantor Blue, but in a very light amount to give it a sort of bluish hue. Because I kind of want to do what I did with this model. For the hair. Give it a sort of a blackish, bluish hue to the hair. So I think I'll need a bigger brush for this part. Maybe not that hair. Maybe not that brush. It's a little too big. I guess we'll go with my size 3. It's really watered down, so hopefully it'll have the intended effect. Fuan says, well, friend just said he wants to get into Warhammer painting stuff, but he doesn't feel justifying buying the plastic. Well, that's what 3D printers are for. Yeah, tell him to get himself a 3D printer if he wants to market down the cost. And Regal says, or you, Fuan, can buy him his first model to get him addicted. Yeah, that's also another way that works. Kinda worked on me. Not that somebody bought me one, but that I painted my first free model at the Warhammer store. That's what made me think that this hobby went from something implausible that I could never do. So I'm like, oh wait, no, I can do this. And I bought my very first kill team. Tempestus Sire, that's what I bought. I wanted to make Conquistador Scions. Again says, I was once bought the world leader CP. I'm guessing you mean Comp Patrol, and I've been eating crap ever since. Makes sense. Reagan says, someone told me to play Kill Team today, but it seems so complicated. Yeah, my hope is that it won't be. I keep making like little kill teams for it, hoping that one day I'll get to play. And I'm hoping it's not that complicated. But yeah, every single time I look at the rules, it looks more and more complicated. But my hope is that it's less complicated than the actual, like, Warhammer game. Well, it says I got plenty of Space Marines for him to paint, but he still doesn't feel worth it to buy. Well, like I said, 3D print a gold broom. If he doesn't feel like the cost of the regular stuff he can buy at stores is worth his time, he could always get something that he can print himself. Definitely lower down the cost of that. Visa says, that reminds me, I forgot if I brought it up before, but there is a pretty good Conquistador themed set of models for Dress Crusade by Daka Naka. Yes, I've seen them. They're pretty good. I like them. I might use them for my own 40k Conquistador stuff, as opposed to Dress Crusade. But they're really nice models. I follow Daka Naka for sure, so. Okay, let me go back. Well, it says Kill Team is the only way I can run Death Watch. Yeah, I've heard that they're coming up with a new Kill Team for the Death Watch. I'm pretty excited about that. Definitely want to make my own warband of Death Watch veterans. I think this blue idea for the black is actually turned out pretty well. Leon says, I've seen a Death Watch army. I think it's so fun and interesting that you need chaplains. Really makes the army fit the lore. And then Ragiel says to Fuon, have you tried telling him to not be poor? This is a joke. The Vice says, heresy! Felt too in theme not to shout. Yeah. Heresy for what exactly? There's really a lot said right now. Rangan says, yes, would you like to join us where we're like super better than the lamos in the Imperium? Was that skill issue to me, not gonna lie. As Trust Crusaders as 40Kers. Yeah, no, I just haven't jived with a particular Trans Crusade army yet. I don't know, it's just not really clicking for me. I think I'll probably play War Machine before I play Trans Crusade. I've been seeing some of their new releases, and I'm curious what that new command team they have for War Machine is, what they're supposed to be. I forgot the name. I kept trying to find information on them, and I couldn't find anything. And then, Regan says, can't afford models? Get a second job, Fivehead. Vi says, oh, I've never even finished the rulebook. It just felt like the perfect conflicts of heresy to not point out. Ragiel says, geez, people need to learn how to take out second mortgages. I know, right? I'm on my third. Biza says, oh yeah, I've been tempted by Deathjack too, even though I don't play more. Yeah, I really want to bring back what were they called? The religious zealot ones? The Metherion, I think it was called. Methanon? Those guys. I wanted to bring them back. Menoth, there we go. Thank you. But yeah, this is definitely a joke. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. Oh, wait, I've missed a few there. Fuan, before that, says, Trick Crusade is one of those things people glaze as the next Warhammer killer as leased by YouTuber. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever come close. Honestly, I don't think it has that much staying power. Watch may be entirely wrong. Visa says they were talking about doing just that recently. Nice! By then he says, Strict Crusade has apparently been successful enough that they are producing their own model kits. Yeah, I mean, that's good and all. But I don't know, like for me, it's like I said, it's not clicking. I don't know, it's just not as interesting, I guess. Ragiel says, Just Crusade has an unfortunate blow of being killed by its own developers PR-wise. Yeah, I've heard of their PR hasn't been great, especially as of late. Ragiel says, and the lack of definitive lore doesn't make you want to be attached to a faction in particular. Yeah, exactly. I don't feel like called to any one faction. Some of the models are cool, but again, a lot of the models you can like get 3D proxies of, so they don't have their own cool line. I mean, they do, but they don't, and it's just like weird. That like just doesn't, like I said, it just doesn't click for me. I don't know why. I think this will be my last coat of this blue, and then we'll be done. Regular says, I think because Warhammer is such a big IP, people seem to forget that tabletop by itself is like still niche and is propped up by the name alone. Yeah, I mean, that's a big one, but also there's a bit more of, I feel like there's a little bit more meat on that bone versus Trust Crusade. Trust Crusade sings specifically for people who like religious themes and World War II. But I feel like Warhammer 40k has a bigger branching, I guess, net? Because they can hit so many different people's, so many interests of different people with all the different armies they have. And it's just not tied to the Space Marines. Yeah, the Space Marines are the biggest hook for them, but they're not the sole hook, if you know what I'm saying. And Regia says, well, for the most part, I'm sure the model sales are still good. Yeah. And Regia says, you know what I was thinking? I really want to kit bash a Dragon Demon Prince, but I don't know how to find those. Yeah, I don't know how to tell you. That one's a little difficult. That I have no idea where you would find that. But there we go. I think the blue is already turning out really well for the hair. This is what it's gonna look like, and yeah, very nice. Regus, oh wait, for one after that says, I'm 100% sure a lot of Warhammer fan doesn't even know about the book or miniatures. Yeah, exactly. They're focused entirely on lore videos from like Bricky or something, and Space Marine 2 and Dark Tide and stuff. The video games are really what's been bringing Warhammer 40k into the mainstream. And Regan says, yes, I also agree. 40k has a much bigger universe with more diversity. Yeah, like space nuns, Vikings, and robots and aliens, etc. And Vice is a Dragon Demon Prince. Also, yeah, she's looking great. Thank you. Regal says, yeah, like I would replace the head and arms and legs with some dragon parts. I would say if you want to do something like that, check out the video by, what's his face? Was it Pete the Wargamer? Yeah, I think Pete the Wargamer made a a demon prince Vulcan. He did a demon prince Vulcan using the kit of Fulgrim and using some dragon head looking parts. So maybe that might be what you're looking for. Tequila Shot says, it's looking great. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I am very glad you're liking it. I am pretty happy with how she's turning out. Really. And Ragian says it looks like it's colorful. Very colorful, very 80s metal look. I am digging it. Hey, Ragion, sorry, and Space Wolves fan 13636, first time shadow saying hello. How you doing, Space Wolves fan? Welcome, welcome. Unfortunately, you caught us at near the end of the stream, but please feel free to check us out next week. Ganamper Man says greetings, and Ragion says hello, Space Wolf fans. What's your favorite faction? And Ragia says, I assume it's 1,000 Suns. And Space Wolf Fan says, yes. My streams are usually from 7 p.m. EST to 9 p.m. EST. But yes, thank you for coming. It's a pleasure having a new time chatter. But yeah, right now we've been working on the Tribal Elf Queen by Quest Wagon. Oh, and you just followed. Thank you for the follow. I look forward to seeing you in future streams. And yeah, the link for Quest Wagon's Patreon is on the pinned chat, so please feel free to check it out. But yeah, I think with that, we are done for today. Let me go ahead and... So yeah, if you like what I do, like support, please subscribe to my Twitch channel, like Space Wolves fan just did, or donate to my Ko-Fi at Rosari. And if you like if you miss an episode, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, which is also called Rosario Art. And again, letting you guys know that the latest Rosario Rivas rant came out last week, the 13th, pretty much about 10 days ago. So yes, check it out. It's on the salamanders. That is the topic of the rant. So hopefully you guys enjoy the rant. Hopefully you enjoy the streams. And yeah, again, check out the Quest Wagon on Patreon if you like the model that I've been painting. It's always a blast painting with you guys. And yeah, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Ragion. Thank you, Fidio. Thank you, Space Wolves fan, for coming in. The God Emperor, Ragion, Vice, Full On, just about everybody who came in, even 78 Rose. You're all wonderful. I love hanging out with you guys. And before we go, let's go and see who we can raid. And let's raid. I'm gonna try to raid. Every single time I try to raid Aurelia, it tells me no, but I'll try it now. Hopefully it'll go through. Nope, Aurelia does not accept raids. So we're gonna raid Spark Minis. Yeah, we'll raid Spark Minis. Oh yeah, good night everybody. Bye bye. It's always a blast painting with you guys. Hope you all had a wonderful time. You take care. And I've been Rosario Rivas, and I'm signing out from the Great Dark Future. Bye bye, varlets.